It begins with not with a bang, but with a bag carrier, with a bureaucrat as Vladimir Putin fades from the Kremlin spotlight, and General Valery Gerasimov is the one handing out medals at the front. A man known more for PowerPoint slides than Napoleonic glory, Gerasimov is now the standard czar, the interim voice of war that has devoured its author. Putin, well, where is Putin? Is he dead? Is he not dead? But his grip is loosening. His grip, at least on anything outside the Smeg fridge. Not in the dramatic sense of a coup or a collapse is he dead, but in the quieter tragedy of irrelevance he is dead. His war machine rumbles on without him, and that machine is chewing itself to bits. A bit like getting caught in the machinery of the Smeg fridge. Let's begin with the most obscene metric of all. 1 million Russian troops killed or wounded, 1 million souls, 1 million unburied, unnamed, unknown. According to the British Ministry of Defence, 970,000 casualties have been confirmed as of mid-June 2025, with 1,300 added daily. And by the end of this week, Russia will pass a milestone more gruesome than any Cold War strategist ever modelled. And by and for what? 4,000 square kilometres, most of it blasted earth and smoking rubble. That's over 100 men lost per square kilometre gained, a funeral procession disguised as a military campaign. These aren't all soldiers. 52% of the dead were civilians in uniform pulled from prison. Some swapped criminal charges for a rifle, a third were coerced, some were simply poor, others subject to propaganda, completely deluded, a few, it seems, simply unlucky. The professional Russian army is being liquidated before our eyes. Elite airborne units gone, Marine brigades shattered, GRU special forces decimated. Of 107,000 publicly identified dead, nearly 5,000 were officers, including artillery coordinators essential for battlefield communication. Their absence has turned the front line into a charnel house of chaos. Attacks now happen without preparation. Coordination has failed. Friendly fire has become routine. This is not a strategy, it's desperation. And into this void now steps Kim Jong-un, grotesquely eager to send more lambs for the slaughter. Over 11,000 North Korean troops are now reportedly involved in the Ukraine conflict. Builders, sappers, gunners. They're dying at a rate North Korea cannot sustain. Already nearly 6,000 have perished in Kursk alone. Shoigu's recent visit to Pyongyang wasn't diplomacy, it was damage control dressed as commemoration. The so-called memorials for dead Korean soldiers on Russian soil are not tributes, they're tombstones in an unmarked empire. A mutual defense pact was signed last year. But North Korea's real gift has been logistical. Over 9 million shells, drones and even ballistic missiles, and in return Russia reportedly offered missile guidance systems and short-range air defences. Pyongyang called it a sacred mission. The rest of the world sees it as two pariahs in a gory embrace. While soldiers die in droves, Russia's military kit is following suit. Ukraine has reportedly destroyed over 10,000 tanks, 21,000 armoured vehicles, 2,500 artillery systems, 1,300 multiple rocket launchers, and over 32,000 drones. In February alone, 331 tanks, 600 vehicles. It's not just metal, it's a logistics network being bled to death. Fuel carriers, comms trucks, rail hubs, targeted, incinerated, rendered useless. And for all its rearmament, missile factories working round the clock, military GDP at 7.22%, the reality is that Russia is building weapons faster than it can train people to use them. The price of war is not just paid in blood or steel, it's paid in bread, in rubles, in futures. Inflation is rampant in Russia. Interest rates are now 21%. Skilled workers have fled. Fertility rates are plummeting. Entire regions are being depopulated, and the economy, though appearing strong on paper due to massive state injections, it's fundamentally cannibalistic. You cannot build schools with missile parts. You cannot pay pensions with propaganda. And even Putin's beloved energy sector is flagging. Sanctions have rerouted oil eastward. Yes, but at a discount price, And with rising insurance costs, and every barrel shipped to India or China comes with a loss, not a victory. And that brings us back to Gerasimov. A man once thought sidelined after Prigozhin's mutiny, now reinstated not with glory but with grim obligation. He gives out medals, he issues orders, but what he doesn't do is explain where Putin is. The President hasn't been seen at the front, not since Kursk, not since the Kyiv drone strike. His speeches are broadcast from undisclosed locations. When he appears, he looks diminished or different. The swagger is gone, the paranoia remains. Putin is no longer leading the war, he's surviving it, if at all. One of his doppelgangers is surviving it. It's the concept of Putin which is surviving. Putin put into a desk drawer. Or an ice rack. Russia's war is now a vast unmarked graveyard. It's not a chess match. It's not a global gambit. Not a test of will. It's a failure of leadership so vast it can only be measured in decades of ruin. And as the 1 millionth casualty is buried under a makeshift cross outside a bombed village, history will ask, what did Putin win? Not Ukraine, not NATO's retreat, not glory. He won isolation in a fridge. He won the ashes. And one day, not too far off, he will lose even that little space. He will lose even those ashes. He will lose even that name, that record. Putin will drip into history as a footnote in the icebox of derision.